So I was looking through some old neighborhood photographs of my childhood and then stumbled across a picture of me and Mr. Dickerson. Now, Mr. Dickerson was the ice cream truck man in our neighborhood and would come around several times a week to serve us ice cream. And the thing about Mr. Dickerson's ice cream was that it was just incredible, and all the kids wanted his special mystery flavor. In the 35 years that he had operated his ice cream truck, there was only one kid, just one, who was lucky enough to get even a lick of the special flavor. But something happened and legend had it that she disappeared. Now, all of us just guessed that she and our family moved on to bigger and better things out of the neighborhood. And as for Mr. Dickerson's habits, he was obviously very popular with the parents. They absolutely loved him and how he was to the kids. Now, most of the time, he kept his distance, but whenever I was at the truck for some reason, he would become a lot more affectionate. He will sometimes touch my hair repeatedly and even at times come out of the truck and actually sit on his lap while he gave me my favorite ice cream sandwich. Now, of course, being a kid, I never questioned it because I just assumed that I was his favorite. But then my thoughts were confirmed when he told me personally that I was his favorite child. Now, everybody wanted to be his favorite child because there was a luxury of cheaper ice cream and getting a chance to get a rare taste of his mystery flavor. Now, one day, I was on my bicycle and Mr. Dickerson was finishing his rounds. He later then called me over and then I sped over to his truck. He later told me that he had a special surprise for me in the back of his vehicle. Now, thinking that I was his favorite, a rush went through me that I have never felt before. I hopped into his van faster than a convicted felon fleeing prison in his getaway vehicle. Now, inside the van, he told me that I would get a good taste of his special mystery flavor. And Mr. Dickerson noticed that I was a little bit sweaty and dirty from my bicycle adventures because, I was riding around in the dirt. So he took his thumb, licked it, and then wiped a smudge of dirt from my face. His hands were very big and strong. So strong that my head moved a bit when he touched me. So, yeah. He said softly that he hated seeing me dirty and that I should clean myself. He was like, He said, your skin is just so soft, as he continued before I was, called back into the house for dinner. And so I ran from the truck, very excited, and knowing that in 1 week that I was finally going to get a taste of that enigmatic special flavor that only one kid before me ever had the privilege of tasting. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant touching her taste buds. Now, just fast forward a week, and then the big day came. My body was ready, my mouth was salivating, and my taste buds were screaming. So then I saw Mr. Dickerson's truck, and then I rushed there. It was like any other day, except this day, it was going to be very special. Well, to me at least. I don't know if it was going to be special for him. Things went as usual. The ice cream music truck blasted, and the kids were happy, and the parents were watching them and talking about adult things that no one really gave a shit about. I then waited until everyone was gone, and when his run was almost over, dusk came. It was calm and quiet. Now was the time to get a taste of that special flavor. He waved and signaled for me to come over, and I was so ecstatic. I hopped into the back of his ice cream truck. And then, he told me that you looked very nice today. I like you clean and you smell like Febreze vanilla cream. And I was like, wait. How do you know what fabric softener I used? The scent of lush fruit, warm cinnamon, and classic vanilla. That was when I knew that this was destiny. And then he said, are you ready? And, he asked with a smile. And then I said, yes, please. I want it so bad. I replied very quickly. And Mr. Dickerson later took out what I had been waiting for my entire life. The special mystery flavor. It looks like sherbet, a mix of pink and yellow. My heart was pounding, my head was sweating, my fingers shaking as I didn't know how to handle myself, He just took out a spoon and got a good scoop of that prophesized mystery flavor, He looked very excited for a guy who was taking out some ice cream, probably from seeing the joy in my innocent face, And then he said, open your mouth, he told me. And then I opened, and then he inserted the spoon very slowly. I later closed my mouth to get a good taste of that mystery flavor. At first it tasted funny, but it was practically orgasmic. This was the fucking best ice cream I ever had. Now, Mr. Dickerson looked at us as if he was hypnotized by the sight of me eating the ice cream. That's it. This time, he was saying that with slow breaths. That's it. Yes, very nice. And then he later took the spoon from my mouth and said that there was more where that came from. Then, for some reason, everything became blank. I don't know how long I was out of it, but the next thing I knew, I woke up naked in a bathtub. This room was very clean, and it was with the scent of lush fruit, warm cinnamon, and the classic vanilla amazingly. The same as my fabric softener. We probably had some kind of connection, I guess. But I had no idea where my clothes were, and my body felt extremely weird. And for some reason, my mouth was sore. There were some scratch marks on my skin. I noticed some saliva on my legs, and my rear felt like someone shoved a cob of corn up my ass. I was weak and still a bit dizzy, but Mr. Dickerson later came into the bathroom, and then I asked him, "What happened?" And then he said, "Shh," as he proceeded to put his hand on my head and then started cleaning my hair with some Irish Spring soap. So, he told me that I don't like it when you're dirty. We need to clean you up for your parents. And then, I went in and out of, and it was a constant battle to keep my eyes open, Then, somehow, I woke up in front of my house. I had absolutely no recollection of how I got there. I went inside my house, and then they asked how my day was, and then I had no idea what the hell happened, so I just said that I met little gray men because, my parents loved the X-Files. They laughed, and then they continued on with their business and all that crap. So I went up to my room, just thinking to myself, what happened? What did he do to me? What was in that ice cream? What is this? I was so confused. But then, as time went on, Mr. Dickerson continued to come to our neighborhood, but my desire for ice cream just went down and I had no interest anymore. Eventually, Mr. Dickerson left the area and things finally started to make sense a few years ago when I came to the realization that I had sexual intercourse with him. And then, I'm sorry. To make matters worse, I learned that the first girl who experienced the mystery flavor many years later killed herself along with her husband, the 5 children, and the pet dog. Oh, that poor dog. Now, I didn't kill myself, obviously, because I'm talking to you right now, and suicide is just retarded. Now, my parents were later contacted by the police as it turned out Mr. Dickerson was a serial child rapist. I went into his truck, a delicate flower, and I did not leave as a child. I left with my innocence ruptured. Oh, sorry, excuse me. I was nothing more than a soft, pure, untainted child that he wanted to viciously deflower. I lost my virginity to him at the age of 10, and I didn't even remember. I mean, really? This is sex? This is what everyone hypes up and wants so much? I mean, I even asked other people who lost their virginity at 9 years old. Some of them didn't like it, and some found it great. Now, every now and then it comes back in flashes, and I can't make it out most of the time. I just want these memories to go away. Now, where's Mr. Dickerson now? I mean, I imagine that he is obviously old as hell, but probably still trying to spread the ass cheeks of another child. I just don't know why anyone would do this. It just makes no sense to me. I'm so sorry. He took so much from me. I'm confused, I'm angry, sad, I lost my virginity at 9. I can't even remember. Did I like it? Did I not? But now the more that I think about it, it just hurts. It just hurts. I'm sorry. That's my story.